I mean, I'm looking at the money put up by Ted Cruz for Ted Cruz. It's incredible. The people there, it's controlled. And he will destroy your ethanol business 100%. 100%. And look, I'm not really blaming him because he's financed by oil people. The oil people don't want ethanol. It's very simple.
Donald Trump earlier today in Waterloo, Iowa, hoping to invoke an electoral Waterloo for Ted Cruz tonight as the Iowa caucuses continue. But will the Donald and this unconventional campaign be enough to actually rack up a victory? Let's talk about it now with two gentlemen who know whereof they speak. Live from Des Moines, Iowa, on the ground there, it's Newsmax chief political columnist and White House correspondent John Gizzi. And from Newsmax, New York, host of the eponymously named Steve Malzberg Show, why, it's Steve Malzberg. Brother Gizzi, first to you. You are on the ground. Give us your report. Who have you talked to today? What have you seen?
I've talked to different people, ranging from experts on the Iowa Caucus, such as Dr. Christopher Hull, who wrote a book on it, as well as individual voters. I just came, JD, from a caucus in Clive 4, that's in West Des Moines, where I talked to Senator Rubio and many of the people who stood in line in the Iowa cold to vote. My feeling is this. If Ted Cruz really has his organization as well-oiled as people say, he will win a narrow victory and an upset over Donald Trump. On the other hand, if Donald Trump's supporters are as enthusiastic as they say, and they know the rules tonight, they may just squeak it out. I saw Senator Rubio and said, "You told me yesterday you're going to do very well, first, second, or third." He said, "I just don't know." But watch for him to be strong and to declare a victory, whatever happens.
And John, as you are offering your assessment on the GOP side, we got to look at a Democrat caucus. No secret ballot, but it looked like, believe it or not, some folks were lined up for Governor O'Malley. Let me turn to you, Steve Malzberg, from your vantage point in the Big Apple. And media buzz being what it is, did you get the impression this weekend that the establishment press was suddenly anointing Marco Rubio as the guy, or do you think they're just reporting what's really going on the ground there?
Well, I think Rubio has made a move, you know, Jeb Bush isn't even there at this point. Chris Christie isn't even there. So of the establishment candidates, he's kind of the one that thinks he has a chance and probably does have a chance to finish third, probably. I'd be shocked if he beat out Cruz or Trump. And the early polls and the early indications from what I've seen by watching the various news reports come in early hours, obviously into this 50 minutes now into the caucus, that Republicans, first-time Republican voters were lining up. And that would spell very good news for Donald Trump. Also, according to CNN numbers, they asked some of the people on their way into the caucus on the Republican side, and what they found was evangelicals split down the middle between Trump and Cruz. And to win Iowa, Cruz is going to have to dominate those evangelical votes.
John Gizzi, let me turn back to you because you've spoken with so many people there. You heard what Steve had to say about turnout tonight. Do you think when push comes to shove, we are going to see a record-setting turnout for Republicans and perhaps for Democrats as well?
Yes, it would have to break the 300,000 plus who voted in '08. And you'll recall, JD, that was the night of Mike Huckabee's dramatic upset on the Republican side. And on the Democratic side, Barack Obama was launched as a candidate, beating John Edwards and third-place finisher Hillary Clinton. Again, more than 300,000 voted. I'm going to gamble a little bit and take a little risk with you tonight and say the record will be broken. It's not only evangelical, Steve, it's also independent voters who can go to the caucuses and ask which one to participate in that will inflate and enhance the numbers tonight.
Steve Malzberg, final 30 seconds to you. To hear what John had to say, it sounds as if Trump has an appeal to crossover voters, or perhaps to people just declaring their party preference tonight, which they could do or could register in partisan fashion to go to a caucus. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, John would know better than me being there, but I had heard of people actually changing their registration from Democrat to Republican to do this. If John is right, and these numbers are record-setting, it's certainly common sense would dictate it would benefit Donald Trump, and it would benefit greatly Bernie Sanders. We'll see what entails, and I'm glad John didn't bet the hat that he wears so often on Newsmax TV, because I love that hat.
Good evening, Mr. and Ms. America and all the ships at sea. We appreciate John Gizzi and his Walter Winchell-esque hat so much. We're going to ask him to come back. Steve Malzberg, we thank you for your time. And when we come back, a first look at early numbers as the Iowa caucuses are going on, and we continue right here on Newsmax Prime on this Monday night from Newsmax TV.